What's up, everybody? This is Cigar Sherpa Laird Mayhew coming at you with a Christmas Day review of the Monticristo Ciudad de Musica Robusto. Stay tuned. All right. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a great day. We have a beautiful 70 degrees here in December in North Carolina and a clear day. Like my intro said, I've got the Ciudad de Musica, which means City of Music in Spanish, by Monticristo. It's a collaboration between Monticristo and Crowned Heads, based out of Nashville. I've got, what do I have here? I've already smoked one of these this morning. I got this box for Christmas. Beautiful Christmas present from my wife. Thank you, baby. Outstanding job. Could not have picked a better cigar to get as a box gift. So I smoked one this morning, and I went ahead and did kind of like a review, took some notes on it, and I wasn't going to do a review today because it's Christmas, but I got about 3 hours before we got to go to dinner at my brother's house, so I figured, what the heck, I want to smoke another cigar, might as well make a review out of it. So what it is, so boutique cigars are pretty popular now. I mean, they're almost not even like boutique cigars anymore. They're being mass produced, and so boutique cigar kind of referring to the complexity of cigars now and the extra care that goes into making them. They're blended, they're specially blended. For instance, this cigar is blended by E.P. Carrillo and John Huber. E.P. Carrillo, of course, of Encore Cigar, or not Encore Cigar, makes the Encore, which I believe was the #1 cigar by Cigar Aficionado last year. And a cigar that I really, really love. I mean, it's a great cigar. I'll have to review that, in the future. But on to this one. It is a Robusto 5x50. Classic Robusto size. One of my favorite sizes. And a size that I just really enjoy. It is wrapped in a beautiful, beautiful Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, EMS wrapper, natural wrapper. EMS, of course, being English Market Selection, for y'all that don't know. Binder is Nicaraguan, and the filler is Dominican Republic and Nicaraguan blend. You got E.P. Carrillo and John Hubert blending a cigar together. You know that even if it's bad, it's like pizza. It's still going to be a little bit good. Or, like my uncle used to say when I was a kid, sex is like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still just a little good. So, in this case, when you got a cigar blended by John Hubert and E.P. Carrillo, or Carrillo, the same applies. Okay, so I should have showed y'all this. So this band here, this is one of those bands that you're going to have to remove. It's so long, you ain't going to be able to smoke a cigar and wait for it to heat up. Anticipating that, they wrapped it, and I already started taking it off, they wrapped it with some wax paper. So you take the band off, and that band is over this wax paper. Okay, and I already ripped it up, but that way you can remove that, and you don't run the risk of damaging the beautiful EMS wrapper with, by taking it off. So y'all bear with me, man. I was up late last night playing Santa Claus. Of course, we have an 8-year-old son, so he was up at the butt crack of dawn. So, I'm maybe a little stuttery today. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm gonna push through and I'm gonna get through this for you. Okay, so it's a collaboration between Altitus and Crowned Heads. Probably Altitus's attempt, or extending an olive branch to the more boutique cigar smokers. Because if you're familiar with Altitus cigars, I mean, they hold all the major brands. Monticristo, they hold Romeo and Juliet. And their cigars, if you go and you pick up like a Monticristo, #2, or a Romeo and Juliet, even like the 505. The 505, they kind of tried to get a more full-bodied cigar, and they kind of fell short on that. Their cigars, for me, are a little plain Jane. Sometimes they have their place in my profile. I really like the Reserve Real from Romeo and Juliet. So their cigars, to me, they're a little airy, they're a little bland, a little flat. They're not very complex. That's what I'll say. They're not very complex. They're good cigars. They're very well made, and they're very popular. Okay. So, in an attempt to reach across party lines, so to speak, they teamed up with Crowned Heads, who makes a complex boutique cigar, and they merged together. I believe they opened up a bar there, or a tobacco store, Casa de Nashville or something like that. And in celebrating that, boom, we get this cigar. So, let's get into it. The construction on this thing is beautiful. Okay, it's really good construction. This wrapper it's a toothy wrapper. It's kind of got a dry texture, but a sheen. It's not oily. It's not dry. It's got some veins. This one's got a vein that I'm anticipating is going to affect the burn just a little bit. The one I smoked this morning, it was beautiful, and it was a razor sharp burn. A little crooked at times, but razor sharp, burned great, solid white ash. That's what I anticipate for this. Maybe I should shut up about that and just do it. So if you'll see there, that little vein right there, it's kind of a pronounced vein, but it's got a double cap on it that's not very pretty. I mean, it's on there. It's not very even, but overall the construction's good. It's a soft cigar, dense cigar. All right, let me change that. Let me take that back. It's a dense cigar. It's not too soft. It's not spongy soft, but it's not very hard either, which is good. I don't like them when they're real hard. I don't have to anticipate any type of draw problems. So along with the box of cigars, she got me some Davidoff cigars too, and some late hour Winston Churchills, and she got me some Nicaraguan series. Love them. They're some of my favorite cigars. So she got me a Zycar guillotine cutter. She noticed I was going back to my guillotine a lot. So instead of going with the punch, she went with the guillotine, carbon fiber. I love it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get that cut. All right, beautiful cut. Little piece got in my throat. So on the smell on the wrapper here, not too much. It's earthy barnyard, which makes me excited. Reminds me of Cuban cigars. It smells good. On the foot, it's kind of a grassy smell. It's got a good natural tobacco. It's sweet too. Very good. Very rich tobacco flavor there. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing lit and get into this first third and head on down the road because I got little errands to run. There's a few things open today. I'm gonna go by Starbucks. The wife wants a cold brew, and she's gonna get one as hard as she worked for Christmas. Stay tuned. I kind of got the wrapper there. Let me see if I can straighten that out a bit. I was looking up in the camera trying to see the foot, and I kind of went a little too low on it. All right, right away, I'm getting a good black pepper on the palate and in the retrohale as I was lighting it. So that's right away. Oh, that's good. Good black pepper on the retrohale now. Woo, that one got me. I love it. Very earthy flavor right off the bat. It's like a good, deep, earthy flavor. It's got a sweetness to it. That's probably going to develop. And it's got a cedary finish. Good wood, cedar wood, like a sweet cedar wood. There you go. So far we have the pepper zing on the palate. We got a good palate pepper in the retrohale, and we're getting a good sweet cedary note along with the good earthy tobacco core. Everything I just said equals great cigar. So let me go ahead and put my window down and get some of this smoke out. All right. Well, like I said, I can't really give you. I just smoked one of these about 3 hours ago. My palate is nice and clean. I'm pairing this up with a Coca-Cola in the Yeti cup. It goes perfect together. It went very good with coffee. And later on in the evening, if you're a whiskey drinker, I can imagine it would probably go good with a good fine scotch or whatever it is you drink, bourbon. when I do drink, I'm gonna put some bourbon in my Coke. So I don't care what it is. If it's that $8,900 bottle of Maker's Mark bourbon, whatever, I'm gonna throw that in my Coke. If it's old granddad bourbon, old cheap stuff, is going in my Coke. I'm not a whiskey guy. I'm a wine guy. I like wine. I can talk some wine with some people. But whiskey, I just never acquired the taste for it. I don't like the effects of alcohol anymore. All right, now this thing's warming up. That draw is beautiful. That draw is perfect, and I am getting a ton of smoke off of it. You see that? I don't know, with my sunglasses and the way the sun's coming in. Whenever I blow that smoke out, the whole camera disappears, the whole display disappears. So, yeah, picking up. The smoke has gotten pretty creamy now. Right off the bat. Normally that takes a little bit to develop, I found. There is a coffee light. If y'all know what coffee light is, when you put milk in your coffee, it does have a coffee light note in the background. Okay, the pepper on the palate is very good. There's a bit of a tang on there. Like, again, I'm not sure if some people may call that citrus, but I just call it like a twang, like a tang on my, almost like a bitterness, but it's not. It's like a flat bitterness. Sweet cedar's still there. Creamy smoke, good smoke output. It's like I said, it's burning a little uneven, but I kind of screwed up that light a little bit, like I typically do. So I'm gonna go ahead and correct it, even though it doesn't really need it, just because I know that this thing will burn. Or the last one, and since I got a box and my father-in-law's in town, and I got him hooked in cigars about 2-3 months ago, and he absolutely loves them. So he was out. I gave him one, so we were out there smoking them, which means I'm gonna smoke one of his Macanudos. He likes those Macanudos, signature series. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and head on down the trail. It's gonna take me about 20 minutes. 15-20 minutes to get into town, and that's about what I anticipate it's going to take me to get through this first third. I will let you know how it goes. Stay tuned. All right. We are into the second third of the cigar. Like I said, it's a Robusto 5-inch cigar, so it's a little bit quicker of a cigar. So I'm getting close to the halfway point, thereabouts, but the flavors are surprisingly staying very, very consistent. There has been a few changes, and I noticed it more on this cigar the second time around than I did on the first one. That black pepper has really transitioned into more of a red crushed pepper now. And at first I was thinking maybe it was just red pepper. I don't really put a distinction on cayenne pepper and different dried peppers, but it has really transitioned into a crushed red pepper flake, and I'm really liking it. But so the smoke, again, it's staying pretty thick, pretty creamy. There is that that still has that cedary, that sweet cedary note to it, and that natural tobacco core. It's a very complex cigar. It's a lot of complexity packed into this little sucker, and I think you're really going to enjoy it, or agree with me when you smoke it, or if you have smoked it. So I'm saying now the body of the cigar is still a medium-bodied cigar, but it's in between medium and full, because it's got a very rich, complex flavor profile. They change. Some puffs I'll get that red pepper flake, and it'll really be prominent, and then it'll kind of fade. Smoke will get more creamy and sweet, kind of like that coffee light that I referred to in the first light up of the cigar. And that's about it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm getting good smoke output. It is burning a little wonky. It's a little like not razor sharp, but it's burning very good. And for a short cigar at 5 inches, you could probably, depending on how you smoke your cigar, and I know there's a lot of how you should smoke your cigar out there. A lot of people, you're supposed to be pulling on it every 60 seconds. I smoke it as much as I freaking want to. And sometimes a cigar that would normally last about 45 minutes may only last me 30. You know what I mean? If I like the flavor of it, it's complex, and there's changing and there's switching around, I'm gonna keep my curiosity. Just I can't help it. I'm just gonna keep hitting as long as I don't hotbox it, which I've been known to do, and then I gotta kind of reset. But there is. I started to pick it up as I was pulling into this parking lot here to kind of stop, because I'm still about halfway to the coffee shop that I'm going to, and I didn't want to be in the last third. I am picking up baking spice. Now, by baking spice, to me, I don't really know what that is, like an allspice. There's nutmeg, there's maybe a hint of clove, like when you mix it with the nutmeg. It's very good. You got that red pepper spice, you're getting the baking spice, you're getting that sweet cedar, and the tang is still on the palate. I'm not sure if it's citrus. It's very faint. It's almost like if you took a piece of cedar out of your humidor, not the spill or the strip that comes in a box, and you stuck it on your tongue. You know, you kind of get that tangy, dry taste. It's like that for a split second, but the finish is nice and smooth. It's got a very smooth finish, very smooth cigar. It's a medium cigar in body. It ramps up to about in between medium and full. The flavor profile is perfect. The blenders on this cigar, big kudos to you. Obviously, you guys know what you're doing. See if there's any. That. Okay, so that red pepper flake is kind of faded, and it's fading into the pepper on the retro hail is a little bit more faint. It's still there, but it's not as prominent. So it's almost like, I guess, a white pepper, or a medium bodied pepper, if you will. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep on smoking this thing. I'm gonna cruise on down the road, and when I get into the final part of the cigar, I'll let you know if it's changed, gotten any better, gotten any worse, and we'll go from there. Stay tuned. All right, coming into the final third of this thing. Ooh, this has been a great experience. I've really enjoyed it. Coming into the last third. Like I said, complex flavors in this cigar, very well balanced. Getting into the beginning of the final third of this cigar, it was almost like I'm taking a puff here, I'm enjoying it, I'm getting this red pepper, I'm getting that nutmeggy baking spice, I'm getting a creamy texture, and then it was like it all kind of switched in the next puff, and that tangy, citrusy flavor on the palate got really strong, which I'm not a fan of, but like I said, it wasn't bad. The black pepper on the retro hail gave way completely to like a white pepper, to a soft peppery finish. There is where it's darn near non-existent anymore, but it's on the palate. Okay, it's good. Good cigar. Stayed very consistent. It burned really good. It's not burning hot. I'm probably going to burn my fingers on this one before I toss it and give up on it. So, man, I hope everybody had a good Christmas. I'm going to kind of ramble on here for a second as I finish this cigar. But I had a great Christmas. In case you were wondering, if you're not, well, it's my channel. I can say whatever I want. If you don't like it, you can turn it off. Christmas time for me, and Christmas means a lot to different things to a lot of different people. Of course, my kids, all they care about is what they're getting. Some people, it's the religious aspect of it. But for me, it's more of a reason, an excuse for my family to get together. My family's no different than any other family. We have our ups and downs and some turmoils here and there, and he said, she said, not getting along. But this year, everybody kind of came together. We went to my mom and dad's house, had a great time with all the family. My grandmother, who is 93 years old, still kicking, still with us, still very here. Very healthy woman. We had a great time. My wife works very hard on Christmas, and she goes above and beyond to the point where I'm like, come on, but we appreciate it. Everybody appreciates it, and We did good. I'm very grateful. It's almost like a second Thanksgiving for everything that you had. I had a really good year this year. Going into 2020, very, very optimistic, and looking forward to what's to come, and especially looking forward to the development of this channel. So if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Just show some support. Just click it. If you visit, if you're a regular subscriber, or if you just are a regular visitor, even if you're not subscribed. But we appreciate the support. I hope you enjoy the reviews. I like hanging out with you, even though you're not here. Like I say in previous reviews, I'm like that nerd, that cigar nerd that hangs out with cigar people. When we're hanging out, we smoke cigars. And if we ain't smoking cigars, we're talking about cigars we want to smoke and cigars we have smoked. So this is a really good outlet for me. I really enjoy it. I hope you do too. So let me just close this out for you. I'm smoking the Monticristo Ciudad de Musica, which means City of Music. The collaboration between Altitus and Crowned Heads is based there in Nashville, probably where they got the name, City of Music, because Nashville is the City of Music. Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, beautiful wrapper. Nicaraguan binder and Dominican Nicaraguan fillers. Very complex cigar. The major notes that I got from this cigar were cedar and pepper. Okay, and the profile of the smoke was a very creamy, full flavored, complex smoke. I really enjoyed almost every puff on this cigar. I could probably do without the tanginess, the citrus, but what are you gonna do? There's people out there that like it, that love it. I can't say much more about the cigar except it is a great cigar. Does it fit the daily arsenal? No, it's just too expensive. Okay, now I got a box of them for Christmas. I'll probably throw them in my daily smoke arsenal about once a week, maybe twice a week. As I get down and I only got 6 or 7 left, I get a little bit anxious and I want to hold on to them, maybe let them age a little bit, which I'm gonna do a whole segment on that. I hear that all the time when people get cigars as a gift, or they order them, or they buy them. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna let them sit in my humidor for a month, and they're gonna be great." I don't subscribe to that. I leave the complexity of the cigar up to the blender. Okay, the blenders, they get together, they age the leaves, they know when to pull it. They're the experts. I don't pretend to know their job. You can't beat a man at his own job. So I just let them do it. When they deliver me that cigar, after the tobacco has been cured, the tobacco has been aged, and then it comes together and the cigar is rolled, and then it's been aged. When they put that thing in the box and they send it out to me or to the store where I get it from, I assume they're the experts and this is how they want it smoked. That's what they blended it for. So I'm not a proponent. If I go into the cigar store and I buy a cigar, I'm smoking it. If I order cigars, the only time that I will, depending on the season, if it's real hot like in the summertime and I order and they come through the mail, I will give them a few days in the humidor. I'll smoke them, don't get me wrong. I'll smoke them right out of the mail package, and 9 times out of 10 they're great. In the summertime where it's really hot and humid, especially down here in the southeastern part of the United States, I'll give them a few days to kind of get back to their cool down and get the relative humidity in the cigar down if it's up, to even out. But as far as buying a cigar that I paid, I think this cigar is $15. I'm not sure because my wife bought them for me. I know a box of them is like $240, $50 in that price range. So they're an expensive cigar, above $10. I'm not going to take that boutique cigar and then think that I am going to somehow improve on it. Now, cigars do get better with age. I understand that. But they're already aged when they come. And you can age your cigars out in your humidor. Okay? I had some Cuban cigars that that were in my humidor for up to 10 years. And when I smoked, it was an Esplendido that I remember, Cohiba Esplendido, that I remember, most prominently. When I smoked it 10 years later after being in my humidor, it had really flavored itself out. A lot of that spice, that barnyard hay, grassy, musty flavor that Cuban tobacco is known for, had kind of faded away, and I didn't really enjoy it. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox about that, and we will get into that in another segment. Everybody, again, thanks for joining me. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a great New Year that's coming up. So, with that, I leave you with this. Always be polite to everybody that you meet, but have a backup plan in case you need to shoot them in the face. This is Laird Mayhew. I'm your Cigar Sherpa, and I will see you next time. Merry Christmas.